can't believe it. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is straight up the top of the hour. Really glad that you are here. And I'm saying I can't believe it because the Distinction Summit kicks off right away. If you are a VIP member, the Distinction Summit gets started with a kind of a get together tonight. We're going to do a virtual cocktail hour this evening and, just ask a few questions, hang out for a little bit. And then we get started officially tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific. And I can't wait. I am so excited. Our topic for today is about the gap that we're trying to bridge and that we will be bridging during the Distinction Summit. So we're going to be talking during the Distinction Summit about, how you bridge the gaps that we're going to be identifying and that we're going to be talking about today. So I want to remind you, it's your last chance. It really is. I mean, I've been saying the time is closed, but this really is. It's your last chance. Stand out, earn more. The Distinction Summit starts tomorrow morning officially. VIPs get together tonight, but we start tomorrow morning officially. So it's really, really exciting. Can't wait. So many of you have already signed up. Charles, I know that you have. Thank you very much for signing up. And not only we had a lot of signups here, we hit our enrollment goal, which I'm personally thrilled about. That doesn't mean much to you guys. It's what you learn and what we can grow during the event. But we did hit our enrollment goal, and we've had several folks upgrade to VIP. Charles, you're one of them. Thank you. And we got a lot of VIPs, folks that signed up and had decided they wanted the VIP. I'm not including everything, but if some of what you're getting as a VIP includes the recordings of the entire event. You're going to get the video and audio, so you can either watch the event or you can go back and you watch the speeches by the interviews and the dialogue that we're going to have with Larry Winget and Joe Calloway and Mark Sanborn, Sage Steele of ESPN, Glenn Morshower of 24 fame, and Transformers movies and everything else. And really, really excited about having Glenn as a part of it. Obviously, he and I do with Ken Walls do the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott every Sunday. Ken Walls is doing a special session, VIP only, on how you use live streaming to get your distinctive message out there. Randall, I saw you signed up yesterday. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're going to have a great time with it. And Scott, great to see you. Thank you for being here today. So all of that's coming up. So you get the recordings, both audio. And the reason we also give you the audio is you can download them on your smartphone and listen to them in your car, listen to them as you're walking, whatever it might be. It's all there for you. And we've got the special cocktail hour tonight. We have two special lunches after Friday and Saturday. We'll have a get together, just kind of debrief and make certain that we answer any questions for VIPs only. So you get a lot with the VIP package as well. If you've already enrolled, you might want to upgrade. If you haven't enrolled yet, this is your last chance. All you need to do is go to distinctionsummit.com. Don't forget, you get $100 off with the code DISTINCT2020. $100 off when you use the coupon code DISTINCT2020. But it is upon us. It is right here. It launches tomorrow. All right. We want to talk about the gap. And there's several gaps I want to identify, and it's the gap that learning how to create distinction is going to help you bridge. There is a gap between being perceived as a specialist and a generalist. The generalist does a lot of good things, and I'm not saying they're not important. They certainly are. Good grief, where would your healthcare be without your general practitioner? But if something goes wrong, you don't want your general practitioner doing your heart surgery. You want the specialist. That's why the specialist typically earns more than the generalist. If you were building a very important structure, would you want somebody that also puts together prefab plastic buildings at Home Depot together? Or would you want someone who specializes in construction? When they built the big stadium here in Vegas, they didn't go to the same people that build homes. When they built the incredible Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, they didn't go to the same people that build small subdivisions. They went to a specialist in that area. We choose the specialist because of what they bring to the table. Hey, Bonnie, been a few days since we've seen you. Hope you're doing well. Great to see you. Great to connect. Hope everything's good in Chicago area, Chicago land, as they say. So, if you want to earn more, what you have to do is to move towards being perceived by the marketplace as a specialist. What are you known for? We've mentioned before that Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, said that your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. That's what you're known for. Are you known as a jack of all trades? And we all know the next part of that phrase is, and master of none. Are you perceived as a jack of all trades, or are you perceived as highly precise and an expert at what you do? We're going to talk about the importance of becoming perceived in the marketplace as a specialist. Second, there's a gap between working in your business and working on your business. Man, I saw that in my own home when I was growing up, right? When my parents first purchased the grocery store in Crothersville, they spent a lot of time working in their business. They worked themselves to the bone. I mean, they worked so hard and so consistently. It was amazing the number of hours that they put in. And they did it with a sense of service. I mean, their heart was in the right place. Everything was kind of in the right place, but they spent all their time working in their business. When the supermarket came to town, somehow innately Dad realized there was only so much time. There's only one of him that he could work in his business. He had to figure out how to work on his business, or else he wasn't going to survive. And that's where some of the ideas came about, that we're not going to be open as many hours, but we're going to be really intensive with our customer service and experience the hours that we are open. We're going to do delivery. We're going to let you establish credit with the store. We're going to do that. Came from working on the grocery store, not standing in the aisle working in the grocery store. And I see so many folks in so many businesses that think that working harder on the old plan, maybe sometimes the wrong plan, is an area that's not going to be productive. Look, it's easy to do what you've been doing, right? I mean, we just do it again, or maybe we work harder at it. But if all we're doing is what we've been doing, look how much times have changed. Look how much situations have changed. Good grief with the things that are happening in our communities by COVID. Look how much people have changed. So if you keep doing the same thing while the world changes, you could be called unnecessary. What we have to do is to figure out how we can bridge that gap between working in our business and working on the things that will make our business distinctive. And that leads us into the next gap. And the next gap is the difference between working harder and working smarter. Look, don't get me wrong. The world is so competitive, you're not going to get ahead without hard work. That's one of the things that the so-called gurus don't often tell us. You're not going to get ahead without working hard. But you're certainly not going to stand out unless you work smart. You're not going to earn more unless you work smart. You've got to have a smart blueprint. That's a gap that you have to bridge. It's not about not working hard. I think sometimes this is said and it comes across like, hey, work smarter and you won't have to work hard. Man, we've got to work hard. There's too much competition out there today. It's too challenging today. It's too important today not to be working hard. But working hard without working smart doesn't ensure us of any return. We have to be willing to work smart. There's a gap, too, between hustling a buck and earning significant profit. And I think that's tied to all of these things that we've been talking about. There is a significant gap between hustling a buck and between earning a profit, a significant profit that not only benefits us, but benefits our family. It helps us find ways to serve our communities, to serve our church or synagogue or mosque, to serve those things that we choose and that we deem as important. If you're always hustling a buck, it's a whole lot harder to create significance. My great friend, Dr. Nito Cobain at High Point University, has talked a long time about moving from success to significance. That for much of his life, he worked to become successful thinking that was the end all be all. If you could just be successful, that would be so fantastic. And then he learned from hanging around significant people that there was a step above success, and that's significance. And significance is not just that you have earned profit, but you have used that to create goodness in your wake, right? Think of a boat and the wake it leaves behind. What good are you leaving behind in the wake? If all you can do is hustle a buck, it's really hard to leave significance in your wake. It's hard to leave that goodness in your wake. So we got to find a way to bridge that gap so that we're not just always out there hustling for the next dollar, but we're doing what it takes to earn significant profit so that we can do good. Next is one I learned about the difference in the gap between being a participant and being a leader. When I first joined the National Speakers Association many, many years ago, I spoke about everything. Anything you wanted, I would be there for, right? I figured the more I spoke about leadership, time management, customer service, sales, motivation, inspiration, on and on and on and on, management, whatever, right? Negotiation, personality styles. Really, I had speeches for all of those. And I thought the more that I talked about, then the more opportunities I'd have to get booked. Right? I mean, if you looked at the universe of people booking sales speeches, I could be a part of that. The universe of people booking speeches on negotiation, I could be a part of that. The universe of people booking customer service programs, I could be a part of that. So the broader my offering, I thought, the more likely I was to get a full calendar, which in my business means more profit. It was exactly the opposite. And I would go to meetings of the National Speakers Association, my trade organization, right? And I was always a participant. I was the one that was sitting in the audience taking notes. I was the one that was learning from others. And I was the one that people would go, yeah, who is that guy? He's here a lot. I don't. When I went through a life change and I learned about the importance of distinction, how that was the thing that would bridge these gaps that we're talking about. When I learned that, all of a sudden, I was looked upon as a leader in the association. Not just being elected to the board or being elected as the national treasurer, not just the work I've done with the association and just about every committee that they have, but just the perception that other speakers had of me, because now there was something that they knew me for. So are you a participant? Is that how you're perceived in your industry, in your field, in what you do? Or are you perceived as being one of the leaders, one of the core group of what you do? There's a big gap in terms of the respect and the return and the referrals and the recommendations that you get when you're perceived as being on the leading edge rather than being in the group of participants. Hey, every group needs participants, not criticizing it, because we all have to have them. But it's like Zig Ziglar said, I'll see you at the top. It's a lot better at the top. Here's the final one. It's the gap between movement and direction. It's akin to that saying, you know, when you're driving around and you're lost and you say, man, I don't know where we're going, but we're making great time, right? That's movement. And in a lot of businesses and a lot of leaders confuse activity with achievement. They confuse action with results. And there's a huge difference. See, we need to move, but we need to be very directional in that movement. If we try to go many directions all at once, we have a lot of movement, but we have no direction. If we have a lot of movement, but no progress, how does that help? And in fact, it detracts because A, it exhausts us, and B, it confuses our customers, not to mention our employees. So there's a huge gap between activity and movement and direction. I see so many professionals and so many small businesses that don't understand why they're not getting there, because gosh, they're working so hard and they're moving so fast and there's a lot of movement, but there's not direction. you got to have direction. And that's part of what distinction is all about, right? It's getting our direction set. It's being creative as we do that. It's telling our story. It's delivering this experience. It's all of those things that will bridge those gaps for us. And notice how it's just logical that you make more money when you create this. And not just more money. I mean, more respect and more freedom and more opportunity, right? You become referable, which creates more opportunity. And then when you get more opportunities and you become better known, guess what? There's more opportunity. That's what happens. My client list before I started this were wonderful organizations, but it was state and county farm bureaus. It was small companies. It was small businesses. It was great people in a widely varied group who I was so grateful to work with them at their organizations, but they also weren't the size of organizations that meant I was going to get more business from them. I went through this process and you can see it on the website. I mean, I'm so fortunate. My client list is Volkswagen Australia, which includes Porsche, Audi, Bentley, Lamborghini. It's Apple, it's Cisco, it's SAP, it's the leading companies of the world that are bringing me in to talk to them. That never happened before. And it's because of the process that we're going to be talking about at the Distinction Summit. But whether you attend or whether you don't, the critical aspect for you has got to be to discover how you close the gap between being a generalist and a specialist. How you close the gap between working in your business and on your business. Between working harder and working smarter. Between hustling a buck and earning significant profit. Between just being a participant or truly being a leader. The gap between movement and true direction. When you are able to bridge those gaps, man, you create a wake that is truly significant. Charles, you're exactly right. Getting our path marked and leaving our signature as we proceed. That is so true, my friend. So that's what we're all about with the Distinction Summit. And like I said, I hope you attend. We've hit our mark in terms of how many folks have signed up of what we wanted for our very first program. But man, if you could be there, it'd be spectacular. I hope you make it. And if not, please remember there will be no daily distinction Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, as we'll be in the middle of the event. But I'll look forward to talking to you again this week. This is the last daily distinction until we, thank you, Charles, until we get back together again on Monday. So I will look forward to seeing you then. For those of you, many of you I noticed that are watching right now, for those of you that are attending the Distinction Summit, if you're a VIP, I will see you in a little less than 4 hours. If you are general admission, I'm so grateful that you're going to be there, and I will see you tomorrow morning. And if you're not going to be there, I'll see you on our next Daily Distinction coming up on Monday. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for being here for Daily Distinction.